So we're here to have a little fun with Disparu. This is technically an old controversy, but somebody asked the question, so I'll address it saying, why don't you like Mr. Disparu? He's a very good man. He knows his Wheel of Time, and he knows his Lord of the Rings. But as we're going to see flatly, no, he doesn't. So what's the essence of the issue? Well, whatever you think about the Amazon Rings of Power, it's definitely been controversial with parts of the fandom. And if they have issues with Amazon, yeah, that's fine. I have no problem pumping out hate videos on Amazon, but to be honest, the only thing I can see that's actually a dilemma is how they're playing with the chronology. So this is someone who actually takes Tolkien seriously. The chronology seems a little problematic, but beyond that, the alleged issue with the Black Elf and things like that, as far as I know, are not major canonical issues because skin tone and race in the Tolkien world is, to put it mildly, very ambiguous. But we'll put that to one side because the essence of this controversy is the angry fans using allegedly the words of Tolkien to fight Amazon. And we're going to have Disparu basically admit, yeah, they were wrong.
So we're going to attack the people who are actually trying to defend something they love simply because of apparent wrongful attribution. But don't worry, because the gamer is here to set the record straight. Now, as this is the gamer, obviously we have to run through the standard NPC script first. So when someone brings up legitimate issues, they immediately jump to calling everyone in the audience racists and talking about the presumptuous patriarchy. But now we've hit the end of the dialogue tree, we might get something original. So they start talking about the quote and how obviously this isn't from Tolkien, no. This isn't from the professor. In fact, this has been found to become a website of TV tropes. Like that matters. It doesn't matter. Who it's from isn't important. When it comes to quotes, who it's actually from is the least important part about it. He was a professor of linguistics. How dare you think that something so simple and obvious could possibly be from such a great author as this? And if you ever wanted to know what happened when an NPC script breaks, this is it. The sheer arrogance, the sense of superiority, the desperate need to condescend from the mountain they think they are, looking down upon the plebs. Oh, you may not be able to.
So he's being very cute and saying, okay, yeah, the Tolkien quote was wrong. It's not a Tolkien quote. And then launches into attack on the article. And you're like, okay, well, you can't have it both ways. On the one hand, you're saying it's a genetic fallacy. The origin of the quote don't matter. I don't care about the origin of the quote. And then he attacks the gamer for what? Being a left-wing communist gay publication? So you're saying the genetic fallacy is a fallacy. That's correct. And then he engages in the genetic fallacy. Whatever we think about him as a Tolkien fan, he's not got a very good working brain. But hey, he's got way more subscribers than I do, so I'm getting the message. Just put out stupid videos. It doesn't matter what the videos say. It doesn't matter what the videos mean. Just put out stupid content. Get a stupid audience. Start pumping that money into your bank account. I understand all that. But trying to take Tolkien a little seriously, there is an actual canon issue, which I think he touches upon but doesn't understand.
The professor wouldn't disagree. Actually, he writes characters who echo this poorly worded sentiment. Frodo actually says something very similar. Treebeard too also agrees that evil cannot create and can only corrupt. Even the Silmarillion mentions it.
So you might think, well, the essence of the quote itself is fine. I mean, Tolkien says similar things. Well, no, that's not true. There's just a basic cognitive problem that we do know that evil people create things because, drum roll, Sauron helped create the Rings of Power. Now, to be fair, he didn't literally make them, but he was critical to their creation. Evil people do create things in the Middle Earth universe, but this is a complicated matter because a lot of people make this mistake that they think the orcs are evil. The orcs are technically not evil in mythology. So there is some consistency in saying that evil people cannot create things, but that's because evil itself in the Tolkien world, I know people might be shocked, evil really doesn't exist. I think maybe Melkor as well as Sauron might qualify, but even those are tricky cases. The way I understood it, Tolkien is saying that there is good and there's good that can be corrupted. But there's no such thing as that evil has its own independent kind of existence. Because in terms of the creation of this world, it was created with a good purpose. So you can have things that fall from that good purpose and, quote, do evil things, but they themselves are not evil. So the orcs are not technically evil. They do evil things, but they've been corrupted. So, in terms of the canon, it is possible to redeem an orc and they not be evil. So, again, that's actually studying the lore carefully. Even if we granted, well, doesn't he have a point? Evil people can't create stuff? Well, that would be true, but we need to understand what the nature of evil is in the Tolkien mythology. And that turns out to be a genuinely difficult, complicated subject. But this is Disparu. He doesn't do complicated, difficult subjects. He does the simplistic alt-right, crazy paranoia, conspiracy nonsense that Nerdrotic specializes in, where everything that has now a woman or black person or a gay person is part of the gay feminist communist conspiracy to destroy the books. Although, as far as I know, Amazon has not touched the books. Even the covers that are scaring people do not touch the books. If the books are getting touched, then I agree, there's a controversy. But until the books are getting touched, this is basically a bunch of hateful nonsense done for political purposes by very ignorant people. And that people think this guy is a reliable Tolkien person just shows us the Tolkien fandom has really declined.